Thank you for coming to my week 3 discussion. I will be going over Gulick, Merton, and Appleby today. The section that resonated the most with me on Gulick's article was on page 108, where he discussed coordination through organization, as well as specialists. This area reminded me a lot of Max Weber's arguments, where he spoke about specialization and division of labor as well. I agreed with Gulick on his point that there should be specialists divided into multiple units within the organization in a hierarchy because I have seen it done myself. While working at the probation department, there were different units with different specialties that were working towards the same goal, which was the rehabilitation of the offender. This included an intake unit, a background and sentence recommendation unit, field officers, and exit officers. It was it made an efficient organization. However, I did notice that there were times where officers became so specialized it did not allow for them to grow or to know other aspects of the job. Therefore, I also believe that creating specialists can also be a weakness and doesn't quite allow for the fluidity within the department and for growth of the individual officers or employees. Robert K. Merton described bureaucratic structure and personality in his article. He reviewed personality traits and effects on those working within government. The section that I found most interesting was at the bottom of page 120, where he describes a concept known as trained capacities, where basically actions or training that may have been applicable during the past are no longer appropriate due to changed circumstances. He advised that this could be an inadequate feature of bureaucracy and that those employees who refuse to change are similar to trained chickens who are on their way to doom because it's the way that's always been done. Merton states that employees lose sight of the overall goal or the mission of the organization and they become more loyal to the procedure and the training instead of advancing towards the goal. I have seen this attitude in almost all places that I have worked at where the employees don't like change, they don't embrace change, even if it might make the workplace more efficient and more effective. Um, Especially when it comes to the employees that have been at a job site for an extended amount of time or they have seniority. But something that I feel like a good manager does is take Mary Follier's application where they depersonalized it and didn't give it as an order that change was coming, but they showed data, they showed studies, um, they showed why it's necessary to make these changes and to adapt to the situation. These outcomes led to successful change. Appleby's article discussed the difference between government and private enterprise and states that government exists so people can be charged with the protection of public interest at the bottom of page 121. However, I do feel this line between the private sector and government can be blurred. For example, my good friend works for the National Institute of Health, which is the federal agency in charge of cancer research. They told me that lobbyists are always interacting with this government agency, trying to distract them from finding a cure for cancer, instead focusing on treatment. And the reason is because once cancer is cured, private enterprise will be wiped out. Therefore, it is within their interest to corrupt government and only focus on treatment. Therefore, I'm not sure if Appleby's distinction between government and private enterprise is still applicable. Thank you.